Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Daniel, and I'm the Vegan Nazarite. Well, welcome to this Shabbat Day's Torah reading. Today we'll be reading Be-shallah, 16 of 52, which is, if you want to follow me, is Exodus 13:17 to 17:16, and the prophets today is Judges 4:4 to 5:31. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Sabbath day, and may your day be filled with the Spirit of Yah. I teach a Torah for one reason. So when I first accepted Yeshua as who he is, the Messiah, I had a lot of crazy ideals about the Messiah, mostly laid down from a whole bunch of traditions that I was exposed to. And when I started reading the New Testament, and especially the book of Acts is very important, because as soon as you start the book of Acts, around chapters 3, 4, 5, around there, Peter nails down a whole bunch of prophecies that were accomplished in the Messiah. And that's why I think it's really important to teach the Torah, because all the prophets, and Yeshua included, that's all they're allowed to preach. Prophets are not allowed to preach falsehoods. They're not allowed to add or remove to the law. They're not allowed to speak of any deity other than the Most High, Elohim. So, and Yeshua does that, and he does that exceptionally well. If you read any of his speeches in the Gospels. So, just a little word of advice. If you're not sure why we need to honor the Messiah, well, I'll give you some suggested reading in the book of Acts. You know, it's good to start at the beginning, chapter 1, but also there's most of those prophecies are nailed down by Peter. He speaks about Joel, prophecy in Joel, about the Spirit being released. He even speaks about Deuteronomy 18, about Yeshua being the one that was prophesied by Moses. So that's really the clincher for me, that made me understand that Yeshua was basically all about the law and the prophets. So just my suggestion for today, if you're not into the New Testament, well, you can actually go and read those prophecies for yourself in Joel and Deuteronomy 18 is another one. So I'll just leave you at that today. And another thing that I want to add is in the book of Revelations, we got the two witnesses, and there's a lot of speculation on who those witnesses might be. Is it going to be Moses and Aaron? Is it going to be Moses and Elijah? There's so much speculation. Is it going to be, who knows who it's going to be? But my hunch is that they're both going to be Nazarites. And the reason I say that is because Moses and Aaron were Levites. So Moses was as a god to Pharaoh and Aaron was his prophet. And we just read that last week. So now God chose the Levites, but with the diaspora, it's really almost impossible to find out who is actually part of which tribe today. So God gave Nazarites a specific sign, and that's the hair and staying away from wine and strong drink, all these things. So that's going to be one of the few visual clues that a person can see to choose whether they are envoys of God or not. So just a little hunch, something I thought about this week. And you know what? I may be wrong. If I am, time will tell. If I'm not, well, we'll see. But just a hunch. So today we're reading Be-shallah 16 and 52. And I'm going to start. I'm reading from the 1917 Tanakh because it's easier for me to read. I can read directly from the screen of the PC. But it uses a little bit of an older English style, which is okay because one of my favorite Bibles is the King James. So just a note, I suppose, just to let you know that if you're wondering why the readings are a little different, well, my Tanakh is the modern version, which is the JPS Tanakh, but for this exercise, I'm reading using the 1917 version. And in a way, I prefer it a little bit because it's similar to the King James using the older English terminology. So let's start Exodus 13:17. Just to recap, Moses and Aaron did all their signs and wonders, and Pharaoh just let the Israelites go. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not by the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led the people about by the way of the wilderness by the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up armed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely remember you, and you shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth and encamped at Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, that they might go by day and night. The pillar of cloud of fire by night departed not from before the people. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn back and encamp before Pi Hatheroth, between Migdol and the sea, before Baal Zephon, over against it shall ye encamp by the sea. And Pharaoh will say to the children of Israel, They are entangled in the land, the wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he shall follow after them, and I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people were fled. And the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned towards the people. And they said, What is this we have done, that we have let Israel go from serving us? And he made ready his chariots and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots and all the chariots of Egypt and the captains over all of them. And the Lord hardened his heart, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel. For the children of Israel went out with a high hand, and the Egyptians pursued after them all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea, besides Pi Hahiroth, in front of Baal Zephon. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them. And they were afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken away us to die in the wilderness? Wherefore thou hast dealt thus with us, to bring us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we spoke unto thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it were better for us to serve Egyptians than we should die in this wilderness. And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today. For whereas you have seen the Egyptians today, you shall see them again no more forever. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. And lift up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go in the midst of the sea on dry ground. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall go in after them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his host, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have got me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of God, who went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud removed from before them and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of Egypt and the camp of Israel. And there was a cloud, and in the darkness here they gave it a light by night there. And the ones came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all the night, and made the dry sea land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and unto the left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them into the midst of the sea, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch that the Lord looked forth upon the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and cloud, and discomfited the host of the Egyptians. And he took off their chariot wheels, excuse me, and he took off their chariot wheels and made them to drive heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians, upon the chariots, and upon the horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength. When the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, even all the host of Pharaoh that went into them into the sea. There remained not so much as one of them, but the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw the great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians, and the people feared the Lord and they believed in the Lord and in his servant Moses. Chapter 15. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spoke, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. This is my God, and I will glorify him. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. And his chosen captains are sunk into the Red Sea. The depths covered them. They went along down into the depths like a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, dasheth in the pieces of enemies. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou overthrowest them that rise up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, it consumes them as stubble. And the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were piled up. The floods stood upright as a heap. The depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. Thou didst blow with the wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead into the mighty waters. Who is like thee, O Lord, among the mighty? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretcheth out thy right hand. The earth swallowed them. Thou in thy love hast led the people that thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in strength to thy holy habitation. The peoples have heard, they tremble. Pangs have taken hold on the inhabitants of Philistia. Then were chiefs of Edom affrighted. The mighty man of Moab, trembling, taketh hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan are melted away. Terror and dread falleth upon them. By the greatness of thine arm, they are as still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O Lord, till thy people pass over that thou hast gotten. Thou bringest them in, and thou plantest them in the mountain of thine inheritance. The place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in, the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horses of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought back the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel walked on dry land in the middle of the sea. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances, and Miriam sang unto them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. The horse and the rider he has thrown into the sea. And Moses led Israel onward from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, and he cast it into the waters, and the waters were made sweet. And he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them. And he said, If thou wilt diligently hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his eyes, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have put upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where 12 springs of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. And they took their journey from Elim, and all of the congregations of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after the departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, What would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, when we did eat bread to the full, for ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, I will cause rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I prove them, whether they will walk in my law or not. And it shall come to pass on the 6th day that they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel at even, When you shall know that I am the Lord, hath brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then you shall see the glory of the Lord, that he had heard your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we that you murmur against us? And Moses said, It shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to full. For that the Lord heareth your murmurings which you murmur against him. And what are we? And your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. And Moses said unto Aaron, Say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before the Lord, for he hath heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spoke unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked towards the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord said unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At dusk you shall eat flesh, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass at even that quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning there was a layer of dew around the camp. And when the layer of dew was gone up, behold, the face of the wilderness was a fine scale-like thing, fine as a hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, What is it? For they knew not what it was. And Moses said unto them, It is the bread which the Lord hath given you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Gather ye of it every man according to his eating, an omer a head, according to the number of your persons, shall ye take it, to every man for them that are in his tent. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. And when they did meet with it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said unto them, Let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it until the morning, and it bred worms and rotted. And Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it morning by morning, every man according to his eating. And as the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one, And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, This is what the Lord had spoken. Tomorrow is a solemn rest, a holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which you will bake, and seeth that you will seeth. And all that remaineth over lay up for you until the morning. And they laid it up until the morning, as Moses bade, and did not rot, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today you shall not find it in the fields. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath. In it there shall be none. And it came to pass on the seventh day that there went out some of the people to gather, and they found none. And the Lord said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day, on the 7th clay. So the people rested on the 7th day, and the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And Moses says, This is a thing which the Lord hath commanded. Let an omer full of it be kept throughout your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a jar, and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it before the Lord to be kept throughout your generations. As the Lord commanded Moses, Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat the manna for 40 years until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat of the manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is a 10th part of an ephah. Chapter 17. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin by their stages according to the commandment of the Lord, and encamped in Rephidim. There was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore people strove with Moses and said, Give us water that we may drink. Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why strive ye with me? Wherefore do you try the Lord? And the people thirsted there for water, and the people murmured against Moses and said, Wherefore hast thou brought us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They are almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said to Moses, Pass on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, and take thy hand and go. Behold, I will stand before thee, and there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in sight of the elders of Israel. And the name of the place was called Massah and Meribah, because of the striving of the children of Israel, and because they tried the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, Choose out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and he took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed his hands, the one on the one side and the one on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, Write this for a memorial in the book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar, and he called the name of it Adonai Nissi. And he said, The hand upon the throne of the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. That's the Torah reading for today. Now let's go to Judges 4.4. Give me a second so I can find it. Judges 4:4. Okay. And now we're speaking of Deborah, another prophetess. I guess same as Miriam, who was Moses' sister. Now, Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time, and she sat under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramoth and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment, and she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, Hath not the Lord, the God of Israel, commanded, saying, Go and drop forward towards Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun, and I will draw unto thee to the brook of Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him unto thy hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, I will not go. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thy honor. For the Lord will give Sisera over to the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh, and Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali together to Kadesh, and they went up 10,000 men with his feet, and Deborah went up with them. Now, Heber the Kenite had severed himself from the Kenites, even from the children of Hoab, the father-in-law of Moses, and had pitched his tent as far as Elon Bezanin, which is by Kadesh. And they told Sisera that Barak, the son of Abinoam, was gone up to Mount Tabor. And Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were up with him from Harash Goim unto the brook Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day in which the Lord hath delivered Sisera unto thy hand. Is not the Lord gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. And then the Lord discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his host with the edge of the sword before Barak, and Sisera alighted from his chariot and fled away on his feet. Barak pursued after the chariots, after the host, onto Hadoshet Goim, and all the host of Sisera fell by the edge of the sword. There was not a man left. Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin the king of Hazor and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera and said unto him, Turn in, my lord, unto me, fear not. And he turned into her, into the tent, and she covered him with a rug. And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened the bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him. And he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man doeth come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? And thou shalt say, No. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a tent pin and took a hammer unto her hand, and went softly into him, and smote the pin in his temple, and it pierced through to the ground. For he was in a deep sleep. He swooned and died. And behold, Barak pursued Sisera. Jael came out to meet him, and said unto him, Come, I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And he came unto her, and behold, Sisera lay dead, and the tent pin was in his temples. So God subdued him on that day, Jabin the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel prevailed once more against Jabin, the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, the king of Canaan. Chapter 5. Then sang Deborah, Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, When the men let grow their hair in Israel, when the people offer themselves willingly, bless ye the Lord. Hear ye, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princesses. Unto the Lord I will sing the praise of the Lord, the God of Israel. Lord, when thou didst go forth out of Seir, when thou didst march out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled, the heavens also dropped. Yea, the clouds dropped water, the mountains quaked the presence of the Lord, even yon Sinai at the presence of the Lord, the God of Israel. In the day of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the day of Jael, the highways ceased, and the travelers walked through byways. The rulers ceased in Israel, they ceased, until thou didst arise, Deborah, that thou didst arise a mother in Israel. They chose new gods. Then was war at the gates. Was there a shield or spear even among 40,000 in Israel? My heart is towards the governors of Israel that offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord, ye that ride on white asses, ye that sit on rich cloth, and ye that walk by the way. Tell of it, louder than the voice of archers by the watery troughs. They shall reverse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts of his rulers in Israel. Then the people of the Lord went down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah. Awake, awake, utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinoam. Then made he a remnant to have dominion over the nobles and the people. The Lord made me have dominion over the mighty. Out of Ephraim came they whose root is in Amalek. After thee, Benjamin, among thy people. Out of Machir came down governors. And out of Zebulun, they that handle the martial staff. And the princes of Issachar were with Deborah. As was Issachar, so was Barak. Into the valley they rushed forth at his feet. Among the divinations of Reuben, there were great resolves of heart. Why sattest thou among the sheepfolds, to hear the pipings of the flock? At the divisions of Reuben, there were great searchings of heart. Gilead abode beyond the Jordan, and Dan, why doth he sojourn by the ships? Asher dwelleth at the shores of the sea, and abideth by its bays. Zebulun is a people that jeopardize their lives unto death, and Naphtali upon the high places of the fields. The kings came, then fought the kings of Canaan in the Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain from money, they fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The brook of Kishon swept them away, that ancient brook, the brook Kishon. O my soul, tread them down with strength. Did the horse hoof stamp by reason of the prancings of the mighty ones? Curse ye, meadows, said the angel of the Lord. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not to the help of the Lord. To the help of the Lord against the mighty. Blessed above woman shall Jael be, the wife of Heber the Kenite, above women in a tent shall be blessed. Water he asked, milk she gave him, in a lowly bowl she brought him a curd. Her hand she put to the tent pin, and her right hand to the workman's hammer. And with the hammer she smote Sisera, she smote through his head. She pierced and struck through his temples, and at her feet he sunk, he fell, he lay. At her feet he sunk, he fell. Where he sunk, he fell down dead. Through the windows she looked forth and peered, the mother of Sisera, through the lattice. Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? The wisest of her princes answered her, Ye. She returneth, answered to herself, Are they not dividing the spoil? A damsel, 2 damsels to every man. To Sisera a spoil of dyed garments, of embroidery, 2 dyed garments of embroidery for the neck of every spoiler. So perish all thine enemies, O Lord, but they that love him be as the sun when he goeth forth in his might. And the land had rest for 40 years. So that's a reading of the prophets for today. So we read about Deborah, which is a female judge. And I think in the start of her song, she refers to men who let grow their hair in Israel when the people offered themselves willingly, bless the Lord. So I wonder again if that's a reference to a Nazirite, because that's one of the conditions of the Nazir, is that you are not allowed to cut your hair. And the Nazir offered themselves willingly to Yah, because, well, either you can be called, or the greatness and the spirit of Yah is so strong in you, you decide to give yourself. So a little bit amazed today to find a reference, probably to a Nazarite. It could be, there's no other law in the Torah that tells a man to grow his hair, or a woman for that matter. Either a man or a woman can be a Nazarite. And an Nazarite does offer himself to Yah willingly. So interesting. Makes me think of why Deborah was the ruler at the judge at that time, because it's not very often that a woman is put in place as a ruler of Israel. Anyways, I don't have the answer. I'm just saying it's interesting. And let that be a passage for all the women out there. God remembers everyone, men, women, and he doesn't judge by appearances, doesn't judge by how much money you have. Yah judges what's inside here in your heart. And that's really the only thing he uses. Anyhow, what I'm trying to say is you don't need riches. You don't need anything to be a servant of Yah. You need a good heart. And if you start with a good heart and you look for him with all your heart and strength, he will then give you the new spirit and change your heart from the heart of stone to the heart of flesh. That's a promise all the way to Ezekiel. On that note, thank you everyone for listening. A little bit longer Torah reading for today. For those who are on Eastern Standard Time, have a good Shabbat lunch. And Yah willing, I'll be back next Shabbat. May the Lord bless you and keep you in his ways. And he preserved you, just like he preserved the Israelites from the tyranny of the Egyptians. Have a great week, everyone. My name is Daniel, and I'm the Vegan Nazarite. And have a good Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Till next week.